The moment you show them what you have, you give them the roadmap to take it away. Every time you brag about your wins, display your lifestyle, or reveal your next move, you aren't building status. You are painting a massive, glowing target on your own back. In the world of Machiavelli, the loudest man in the room is the one with the least real power, because he is the only one who can't afford to be ignored. Think about the last time you shared a success. Why did you do it? Was it for the inspiration of others? No, it was because you were starving for the validation of people who don't even like you. You traded your security for a 5-second hit of dopamine. You invited envy into your house and sat it at your dinner table. You didn't realize that while you were looking for applause, the people around you were quietly calculating how to sabotage your momentum. Machiavelli warned that power dies the moment it becomes loud. Showing off is not confidence, it is exposure. It tells the world exactly where to aim. It tells enemies how far you have climbed and how to pull you back down. The moment you celebrate publicly, you stop being feared and start being hunted. Look at your social media. Look at the way you talk to your friends. Are you building an empire or are you building an illusion? You are spending your mental energy maintaining an image while your enemies are spending theirs searching for your cracks. You are literally financing your own downfall with your vanity. You are providing the very information that will be used to replace you, bypass you, or destroy you. Today, we are dismantling the attention seeker trap and replacing it with the Machiavellian framework of the hidden king. Most of you will ignore this. You'll keep posting, keep talking, and keep showing off because your ego is louder than your ambition. If you want the likes of the crowd, leave now. But if you want the sovereignty of the silent, stay. Because the most dangerous man in the room isn't the one talking, it's the one observing the man who won't stop talking. You walk into a room and you want everyone to know you're the smartest, the wealthiest, or the most capable. You think that by projecting power, you gain power. You are fundamentally wrong. In the Machiavellian arena, appearing powerful is the quickest way to become powerless. When you show your strength, you force your enemies to prepare. You remove the element of surprise. You spend your energy maintaining a facade, while the real players are spending theirs finding the gap between your ribs. Let's expose the 3 specific things you've been showing off that are currently destroying your life. First, your income and assets. When you show off your money, you aren't gaining respect, you are gaining auditors. You are inviting everyone from the government to your broke friends to decide how much of your wealth they are entitled to. You've noticed it, haven't you? Since you started looking successful, people have started looking at you like a walking ATM. They don't see a friend, they see a buffer for their own failures. You've traded your financial privacy for the status of being the guy who pays for everything. You aren't a king, you're a sponsor. Second, your relationships. The moment you start showing off your partner or your private connections, you make them a target for comparison and envy. You've been posting your happiness to prove you're winning in life. What you've actually done is invited every person who hates their own life to find a reason why your relationship is fake or toxic. You are putting your private peace on a public stage and wondering why it's being booed. You are letting the snakes in your circle look for the cracks in your armor through the person you love. Third, your next move. This is the most dangerous leak of all. You've been teasing your next project to get people excited. In reality, you are just alerting the competition. You are giving them time to copy you, undercut you, or lobby against you. Machiavelli understood that execution must be silent. The moment they see the strike, it should already be too late to move. By talking about it, you are giving them the chance to move first. You are handing over your competitive advantage for the price of a few likes. Think about your current circle. You've been low-key showing off your progress. You bought a better car. You started posting your grind on your story. Or you started talking about your big investments. You think you're leveling up. What you're actually doing is triggering a biological threat response in everyone around you. To them, your success is a direct threat to their hierarchy. By showing off, you have forced them to become your competitors. You have ended the era of their cooperation and started the era of their sabotage. Machiavelli noted that those who pretend to be less than they are have the greatest advantage. If they think you are a solved equation, if they think you are average, struggling, or just getting by, they stop watching you. They drop their guard. They become lazy in their dealings with you. This is where you want them. You want your enemies to feel superior to you. Their arrogance is your greatest weapon. While they are busy looking down on you, you are moving behind them, unhindered and unnoticed. Let's expose the reality of your achievements. You are so insecure that you need the likes and congrats of people who wouldn't help you if your house was on fire. You are trading information security for ego validation. Every time you post your vision board or your goals, you are giving away the blueprints to your future. Why would you give your rivals a head start? If you truly were as powerful as you want people to think you are, you wouldn't feel the need to prove it. The sun doesn't need to announce that it's shining, it just burns. Consider the corporate environment or the social hierarchy you're in. There is always that one person who is constantly talking about their big plans and their connections. Everyone knows them, everyone watches them, and the moment they make a single mistake, the entire group pounces. Now, look at the quiet one in the corner, the one who agrees with everyone, who never mentions their wins, and who seems safe. That is the person you should fear. They are the one gathering data. They are the one building an empire in the basement, while the loudmouth is building a house of cards on the front lawn. You have been conditioned by a social media culture that rewards visibility. You've been told that personal branding is everything. But in the world of real power, privacy is the ultimate luxury. By showing off, you are making yourself a commodity. You are letting the world put a price tag on you. Once they know your price, they know how to buy you. Once they know your lifestyle, they know how to tempt you. Once they know your ego, they know how to manipulate you. Stop trying to be the man. Start being the shadow. If you are doing well, keep it to yourself. If you are winning, act like you're just surviving. If you are rich, dress like you're middle class. This isn't about being humble, it's about risk mitigation. You are removing the motive for others to hurt you. If they think you have nothing worth taking, they won't try to take it. If they think you are no threat to their status, they won't try to knock you down. You are using tactical mediocrity to buy yourself the most valuable thing in the world, time and space to operate. Look at your conversations. From now on, you will stop being the center of attention. You will become an observer. You will let others talk about their wins. You will smile, nod, and tell them how impressive they are. You will feed their ego until it blinds them. You will let them believe they are the lion while you are the fox. Because while the lion is busy roaring and making himself a target for every hunter in the woods, the fox is in the shadows, winning. You have spent years trying to get people to respect you through your displays of success. It hasn't worked. It has only brought you fake friends and real enemies. It's time to flip the script. It's time to become the most dangerous person in the room, the one no one is worried about. The transformation begins the moment you value your sovereignty more than your validation. You think your friends want you to win. You've been told that real ones celebrate your success. That's a lie designed to keep you vulnerable. The truth is much darker. Most people want you to do well, but never better than them. The moment you cross that invisible line, the moment your car is faster, your partner is more attractive, or your bank account is deeper, the celebration ends and the subtle sabotage begins. Think about the last time you shared a massive win with your inner circle. There was that split second of silence before they spoke, that cold, hollow look in their eyes before they forced a smile and said congrats. In that 1 second, they weren't happy for you, they were mourning their own lack of progress. Your success didn't inspire them, it insulted them. By showing off, you didn't gain their respect, you birthed their envy. And envy is a predator that doesn't sleep until the thing it hates is destroyed. Machiavelli understood that human nature is fueled by comparison. He knew that the people closest to you are the ones most likely to stab you because they are the ones who feel the sting of your success the most. A stranger doesn't care if you're a millionaire, but your neighbor, your cousin, your best friend from high school, they are watching your every move to see if you've forgotten where you came from. They are looking for reasons to bring you back down to their level. By showing off, you gave them the knife. Let's look at how this plays out in your life right now. You've been blessed, and you wanted to share that blessing. You started paying for the dinners. You started letting them stay at your place. You started giving them advice they didn't ask for. You think you're being a leader. They think you're being an arrogant prick. Every nice thing you do with your new status is just another reminder to them that they are failing. This is where the snakes are born. They won't attack you directly. They aren't that brave. Instead, they will use passive-aggressive warfare. They will start making jokes about your new lifestyle. They will accidentally forget to invite you to things. They will start gossip that sounds like concern, but is actually meant to ruin your reputation. They will say things like, "I'm just worried they've changed," or "I hope they can handle all that pressure." This is social poisoning, and you are the one who provided the toxin by being too visible. You have to understand the law of relative status. People only feel comfortable when they feel equal to or slightly better than you. The moment you break that equilibrium, you become a problem that needs to be solved. If you show off, you are basically saying, "Look at how much better I am than you." Even if you don't mean it, that is how the human brain hears it. You are triggering their fight or flight response. They can't flight from your success because it's all over their feed, so they choose to fight. To survive the snakes, you must learn to use the envy shield. This is the art of strategic complaining. From this day forward, you will never share a win without attaching a cost to it. If you buy a new house, you don't talk about the view, you talk about the nightmare of the taxes and the leaky roof that's costing you a fortune. If you get a promotion, you don't talk about the salary, you talk about the soul-crushing hours and the toxic boss you now have to deal with. Why? Because it makes you safe again. When you complain, you give the envious people in your life a win. They can look at you and think, well, they have the money, but their life sounds like a mess. I'm glad I'm not them. You are feeding their ego so they don't eat yours. You are making your success look like a burden rather than a blessing. This stops the sabotage before it starts. It keeps the snakes in a state of pity rather than a state of war. Machiavelli didn't want you to be a martyr. He wanted you to be a ghost. You want the results of your success, but you want to deflect the social cost. You want the power, but you want to avoid the target that comes with it. By faking failure, you are performing a social smokescreen. You are moving in the dark while they think they are watching you in the light. Look at the people around you. Who are the ones who only seem to be there for you when you're struggling? Who are the ones who always have a better story when you try to share a win? These people are addicted to your mediocrity. They love you when you're down because it makes them feel up. The moment you start winning, they will turn on you like a cornered animal. Stop trying to save people who are secretly praying for your downfall. You are wasting your kindness on people who see it as a sign of weakness. In the world of power, there are no best friends. There are only strategic alliances. If an alliance is no longer serving your growth, or if it is actively sabotaging your peace, you must have the Machiavellian courage to cut it. You've been showing off because you want to be loved. You want to be part of the group. But the sovereign is never part of the group. The sovereign leads the group, or they leave the group. By seeking their approval through your displays of success, you have made them your judges. You have given them the power to decide if you are worthy of your own achievements. Take that power back. You are currently suffering because you are trying to live in two worlds. You want the victories of the elite, but you want the comfort of the average. You can't have both. The elite world is a place of cold calculation, privacy, and strategic silence. The average world is a place of loud bragging, gossip, and shared misery. By showing off, you are trying to bring your average friends into your elite world. It won't work. They will only drag your elite world down until it's as miserable as theirs. You must accept the solitude of the winner. You must learn to enjoy your wins in silence, or with the very few people who are actually on your level. The audit is sharpening. You've learned to hide your strength and shield yourself from envy. But now, we have to talk about the invisible leashes you've placed on yourself. We have to talk about the information you've leaked and how it's being used to build a cage around your future. You are your own biggest leak. You think you're networking or building trust, but in reality you are a walking security breach. Every time you open your mouth to brag about a plan before it's finished, you are bleeding power. You've been socialized to believe that sharing is caring, but in the Machiavellian arena, sharing is surrender. You are giving away the only thing that keeps you ahead of the curve: information. Think about the last time you told someone about a big move you were about to make. A business idea, a career change, or even a self-improvement goal. Notice what happened. You felt a little rush of pride, a fake win, and then your motivation vanished. Why? Because you already got the dopamine hit of the success without doing any of the work. But more importantly, you just gave everyone around you a chance to build a wall in front of your destination. You didn't just tell them your plan, you told them how to stop you. Machiavelli knew that a prince's greatest asset is his mind, specifically the parts of it that no one else can see. He wrote that you should never let your true intentions be known until the moment they are realized. By showing off your vision, you have removed the element of surprise. You've allowed your rivals to prepare their countermoves. You are playing chess with your pieces facing the wrong way. You are literally inviting the world to sabotage your future because you couldn't handle the silence of your own ambition. You are currently obsessed with how people see you because you have no internal foundation. You are showing off because you are terrified that if you don't remind people you're successful, you'll cease to exist in their minds. This is the visibility trap. You've allowed other people's opinions to become the oxygen of your ego. If they don't applaud, you feel like you're suffocating. This makes you easy to manipulate. All someone has to do is give you a little ego stroke, a compliment on your grind or your lifestyle, and you'll tell them everything. You are so desperate for a seat at the table that you don't realize you're the one being served on the plate. Your vanity has made you transparent, and in the world of power, transparency is the same as being defenseless. Look at the people you admire, the real players. Do you really know what their bank account looks like? Do you know their next 3 moves? No. You only see what they want you to see. They use visibility as a distraction. They show you a bright, shiny object with one hand, while the other hand is closing the deal in the dark. They are the ones who understand the information embargo. They know that the less people know about you, the more they have to fear you. From this second forward, you are entering a state of information lockdown. You will stop updating the world on your progress. You will stop using your success as a conversation starter. If someone asks how you're doing, your answer is always the same. Just working, staying busy. Nothing special. You are going to become unremarkable. You are going to cultivate a tactical dullness that makes people stop paying attention to you. This isn't about being shy. It's about internalizing your power. When you stop looking for external validation, you begin to build a reservoir of energy. That energy, which you used to waste on showing off, will now be funneled entirely into your execution. You will become 10 times more productive because you are no longer performing for an audience. You are working for the sovereign. You've been showing off because you thought it was a shortcut to respect. It was actually a long road to resentment. You've been trying to win the room, but you've been losing the war. It's time to close the leaks. It's time to put an embargo on your soul. The audit is coming to its peak. You've learned to hide, you've learned to shield, and you've learned to stay silent. But there is one final brutal truth we haven't touched: the law of the shadow strike. You need to learn how to win so hard that by the time they realize you've won, there is absolutely nothing they can do about it. You've been playing the game of a peasant while dreaming of the life of a king. Peasants need to be seen. They need the parade, the applause, and the public pat on the back to feel like they matter. But a king, a true Machiavellian sovereign, finds his greatest power in the void. He understands that the most devastating blow is the one that lands before the victim even knows a war has started. This is the shadow strike. Think about your current strategy. You've been announcing your moves. You tell your accountability partners about your new diet. You tell your colleagues about the promotion you're gunning for. You tell your family about the business you're launching. You think you're manifesting. In reality, you are telegraphing. You are giving the world a head start to prepare their defenses. By the time you're ready to actually move, the doors are already locked. You are fighting an uphill battle that you created with your own big mouth. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince for people who want to be liked on LinkedIn. He wrote it for people who want to win. He knew that if you are seen as a threat, you will be suppressed. If you are seen as an equal, you will be competed with. But if you are seen as nothing, as just another face in the crowd, another average soul with no ambition, you are granted the ultimate tactical freedom. You are invisible, and an invisible enemy is an undefeatable enemy. Let's look at your reality. You've been frustrated because every time you try to level up, something gets in your way. A friend talks you out of it. A competitor beats you to the punch. A family member warns you until you lose your nerve. You blame bad luck. I blame your vanity. You wanted the credit before you had the result. You wanted the winner label before you'd even finished the first lap. The shadow strike requires you to master the law of the finished fact. From this day on, you do not talk about what you are going to do. You only talk about what you have already done. And even then, you only reveal it when it is so deeply rooted that it cannot be uprooted. Imagine you are working on a side project that will eventually let you quit your job. Most of you would be posting hustle quotes and sneak peeks of your laptop at 2 a.m. That is amateur hour. That tells your boss to start looking for your replacement and your co-workers to start sabotaging your tasks. The sovereign does the opposite. They become the most reliable, average employee in the office. They do their job, they smile, they act like they have nowhere else to go. They become part of the furniture. Meanwhile, in the dark hours, they are building their exit. They are signing contracts, securing funding, and building a fortress. Then, on a random Tuesday, they hand in their resignation. No warning, no teasing, just a finished fact. By the time the boss realizes the quiet one has surpassed them, the quiet one is already miles away. That is a shadow strike. You are currently addicted to the attention economy. You've been brainwashed to believe that if it's not on your Instagram story, it didn't happen. You are performing your life for a digital audience that doesn't care about your success. They only care about their own entertainment. You are trading your competitive advantage for engagement. Look at your last big reveal. You posted a win, you got 200 likes, and you felt great for 10 minutes. But look at what happened next. That friend, who's always been slightly competitive with you, suddenly stopped liking your posts. That person who used to mentor you suddenly became busy. You didn't realize that by showing off, you forced them to see you as a rival. You ended the era of their help and started the era of their envy. A shadow strike avoids this by maintaining induced blindness. You want people to think you are stagnant. You want them to think you've hit your ceiling. You want them to feel a little bit sorry for you. Why? Because pity is the ultimate camouflage. When people pity you, they don't fear you. When they don't fear you, they don't watch you. And when they don't watch you, you can take the entire kingdom while they're busy offering you advice on how to be as mediocre as they are. You've been showing off because you are afraid of the dark. You are afraid that if you aren't in the spotlight, you don't exist. But the spotlight is where the targets are. The dark is where the power is. You need to develop a secret life. Not a life of lies, but a life of reserved assets. You need to have bank accounts no one knows about. You need to have skills no one has seen you use. You need to have connections that don't appear in your following list. You are building a parallel reality, a version of yourself that is far more powerful than the one the world sees. When you finally decide to strike, whether it's in business, in a negotiation, or in a social hierarchy, it must be absolute. There should be no room for negotiation. There should be no time for a counterattack. You move with the speed of a heart attack. You go from average to absolute leader in a single move. The people around you will be shocked. They will say, "Where did this come from?" They will say, "You changed." What they really mean is, "I missed the chance to stop you because I was too busy looking at the fake version of you." That is the highest form of Machiavellian respect. You didn't ask for power, you imposed it. You are currently suffering from a weak will. You need the external great job to keep going. That makes you a slave to the crowd's opinion. The shadow strike requires an internalized will. You must be able to work for years in total silence, fueled only by the vision in your head. You must be able to watch others get the clout and the applause while you sit in the shadows, knowing that your day is coming and theirs is already fading. Can you handle being the loser in everyone's eyes while you are actually winning in reality? Most of you can't. You're too soft. You're too hungry for the likes. But if you want to reach the 1%, if you want to be the one who actually owns the game, you must embrace the sovereignty of the shadow. You've spent your entire life as a performance artist. You didn't realize it, but every outfit you chose, every achievement you bragged about, and every humble brag you posted was a plea for a jury that doesn't care if you live or die. You've been living in a prison of other people's expectations, and you built the bars yourself out of your own vanity. But today the performance ends. We are installing the sovereign anchor. The anchor is the moment you stop looking outward for a compass and start looking inward for a command. Most people are drifters. They are blown around by the winds of social trends and the opinions of their peers. If the group says showing off is cool, they show off. If the group says hustle culture is the way, they hustle for the camera. They have no center. They are hollow. You have been hollow. You've been a mirror, reflecting whatever the world wanted to see, just so you could feel validated. Machiavelli knew that a prince who relies on the favor of the people is building on sand. The people are fickle. They will love you today and execute you tomorrow. If your sense of self is tied to their likes or their respect, you are a slave to their whims. The sovereign anchor means your value is non-negotiable. It doesn't increase when they applaud, and it doesn't decrease when they ignore you. You have become a fixed point in a moving world. Let's look at the social contract you've been following. You were taught that if you share your success, you'll be welcomed into the upper echelons. You were taught that visibility equals opportunity. Look at your life. Has it worked? No. It's only brought you friends who want a handout and rivals who want your head on a spike. The contract was a scam. It was designed to keep the winners visible so the losers could keep track of them. The sovereign anchor breaks this contract. You are going to start failing on purpose in the eyes of the public. This is the ultimate mind game. Imagine you're at a social gathering. Everyone is talking about their big wins. In the past, you would have jumped in to prove you belong. Now, you stay silent. You let them think you're struggling. You let them feel better than you. Watch what happens. When they think they have nothing to gain from you, their true nature comes out. The snakes stop hiding their venom. The users stop calling you. This is the great filtration. By refusing to show off, you are forcing the world to reveal its true intentions toward you. You are no longer the provider of status. You are the observer of character. You've shifted from the performer to the judge. This is the only position of true power. You are exhausted. Admit it. You are tired of maintaining the winner persona. You are tired of checking your phone to see if your success was validated by strangers. You are tired of the anxiety that comes with knowing that if you stop winning publicly, people will stop caring. This exhaustion is the price of your vanity. You are carrying a heavy golden mask that is crushing your soul. The sovereign anchor allows you to drop the mask. When you stop showing off, you stop performing. And when you stop performing, you save an incredible amount of psychological capital. You can finally use that energy to actually be the person you've been pretending to be. You've been spending 80% of your time on the packaging and only 20% on the product. We are flipping that ratio. From now on, your product, your skills, your wealth, your character will be 100% of your focus, and your packaging will be invisible. Think about the freedom in that. No more proving yourself. No more defending your reputation. No more climbing social ladders that lead to nowhere. You have anchored yourself in your own reality. If you have $1 million in the bank and everyone thinks you're broke, you still have $1 million. But if you have $0 and everyone thinks you're rich, you are a dead man walking. You've been choosing the second option because you're addicted to the look. No more. Machiavelli noted that the most effective rulers were those who were secretive and slow to reveal their thoughts. This isn't just a strategy for war, it's a strategy for life. When you are anchored, you become a black hole of information. People try to read you, but they find nothing. They try to bait you into showing off, but you don't bite. They try to shame you for not being visible, but you don't care. This silence is terrifying to people. They don't know where they stand with you. They don't know if you're a threat or an ally. Because they can't categorize you. They can't control you. You have become unmanipulatable. You are no longer a resource to be exploited. You are an enigma to be respected. Look at your interactions for the next 48 hours. Every time you feel that itch to brag, every time you want to correct someone's low opinion of you, kill it. Feel the power that comes from knowing something they don't. Feel the sovereign weight of your own secrets. You are building a mental fortress that no one can enter without your permission. You've been a child playing with the toys of status. You've been showing off your sparkly things to get a smile from your parents, the society that raised you. It's time to grow up. The sovereign doesn't play with toys. The sovereign builds, and the first thing you are building is a life that is unrecognizable to those who knew the old you. The old you was a slave to the spotlight. The new you is the master of the shadows. You are no longer looking for a seat at the table. You are building your own table in a room they don't even know exists. You have moved from seeking visibility to achieving dominance. The audit is almost over. You have the tools, you have the mindset, you have the anchor. But there is one final transition, the final lie that you must tell the world to ensure your total permanent freedom. We are about to discuss how to exit the social game entirely while still winning it. Are you ready for the final part? We are going to discuss the sovereign exit and how to finalize your total separation from the crowd's control. The final truth is this: power is a zero-sum game. Every ounce of attention you give the world is an ounce of power you've lost. The show-off is a man who has lost the war because he's too busy winning the parade. If you've reached this point, you are no longer that man. You are executing the sovereign exit, the total withdrawal of your ego from the social marketplace. Machiavelli knew that the ultimate form of control is unpredictability. By stopping the show, you've become a ghost in their system. You are now free to build, strike, and conquer without the friction of envy or the weight of expectation. You have traded the likes of the masses for the liberty of the elite. The person you were at the start of this video is dead. The person watching now is a strategist who understands that visibility is a liability. If you've made it to the end, you are the 1%. Most people clicked off when the truth got too uncomfortable. They went back to their status games and their visibility traps. But you stayed. You have the hunger for absolute autonomy. This audit was just the surface. If you are ready to stop watching from the sidelines and start mastering the dark psychological architecture of 2026, you need to join the Sovereign Circle. Our membership is not a community, it's a battlefield of high-level strategy. When you join, you get access to the Blueprint Vault, containing Machiavellian tactics the public algorithm is too afraid to show. You get the live audits, where we dissect real-world social scenarios and rewrite them for total dominance. And you join the Elite Network, a brotherhood of sovereigns who have moved past the show-off phase and into empire building. Don't just be a student of power, be the one who wields it. Click the join button below and claim your seat at the table. We don't accept everyone, but for those who are ready to disappear and rebuild, the door is open. You have successfully completed the audit. You now possess the keys to strategic invisibility. If this video opened your eyes to the target you've been wearing on your back, like this video right now, it signals to the system that the truth still matters. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. In the world of the shadow strike, timing is everything. If you miss the next briefing, you miss the next move. Let the world wonder why you've suddenly stopped talking. Thank you for trusting me with your time. You've reached the end of the lesson, but the execution starts the second you close this tab. The parade is over. The war begins. I'll see you in the circle.